teams have improved in their defensive field strategy as well. That's also going to be an area to look at. Wanneroo, they've gone unchanged from the side that tied against the Braves 2-2 some 2 weeks ago. And the Carine Cats, Tori, I understand, they have got a massive, massive out. Chloe Scott, I believe, has got an injured back.
Injured back, so 50-50 whether she'll be back for the semi-final next week, but really unfortunate as it stands that she can't be here tonight.
That is a real big blow for Carine, but they do have some strong depth in their batting lineup, led by the likes of Elodie O'Sullivan, Peyton Newman, who's batting lower down the order than usual, and also Miley Watt. But from what we've taken from Carine and Wanneroo from their warm-ups earlier, Tori, is that they're trying to rest some of their best players in order for that semi-final next week.
Absolutely. I think, next week is the really important game, and tonight, while you want that upper edge, you don't really want to throw around those players that, could get injured and that you need to save them for next week.
And straight away, the Cats at the plate through their lead-off hitter, O'Sullivan. A ground ball to shortstop. The throw's wide. Is O'Sullivan going to get to extra bases? No, she's going to play it safe and net herself a single. The lead-off hitter starting the way she and the Cats wanted to with an early base hit. Elodie O'Sullivan starting off on a strong note. Now Ruby Mooney, one of the new players in the Carine side tonight, batting in that second spot, facing the Giants lead-off pitcher Michaela George, which seemed a bit of a surprise at first that the respective sides, Wanneroo and Carine, are not going with the likes of Haggart and Burke as their starting pitchers, but taking in the approach as Haggart throws a nice change-up for a strike. They're resting some of their key players from their regular duties heading into next Wednesday's semi-final right here at NSR Higher Ballpark, as the 0-1 is thrown a little wide off the zone. 1-1 the count. We'll give you the Wanneroo Giants starting lineup in just a moment. George seeking a pick-off attempt at first, but O'Sullivan well and truly at the plate before the throw could get to first baseman in time. The 1-1, Mooney facing. Lets that one go by, 2-1. George on the mound, starting it off for Wanneroo tonight. Swing and a miss from Mooney, that's strike two. None in the shed for the Cats at this stage. Can George get the Giants on track? Here comes the pitch. That one's down the middle. That's a strikeout. Could they get a double in this one? The run to second. It's close, but O'Sullivan is safe. Sliding into second, gets the steal.
Oh, she did really well to hang on the base there.
Let's take a look at the replay. This was a close call for O'Sullivan. A tag not coming in time from Megan Everett. And that has allowed O'Sullivan to steal second. But by gee, that was a close call.
Here's one of the ones we've been watching, Paul. Briar Burke up to bat.
Briar Burke, one of the leading stars for the Cats. Takes a called strike on the first one. In the meantime, here are the starting lineups. First off for the Wanneroo Giants. Michaela George on the mound. Haggart as starting catcher. Sam Thrush as first baseman, batting in that third position, and that will be a foul. 0-2 the count. Thrush at first base, and at second base, Jess Knight. At third base, Madison Lyons. Everett's at shortstop. Yates at left field. Spano at centre field. And Lana at right field. That is the Giants lineup for this evening's encounter. This being the second last of the preliminary games in this year's Women's Elite Series. Burke swings at that one, gets a faint edge. We'll repeat the 0-2 with O'Sullivan on second, and one away. Paul Persick and Tori Newman with you here at NSR Higher Ballpark, the newly named NSR Higher Ballpark here in the West. Beautiful conditions for baseball. There was a forecast of rain and a possible thunderstorm, but thankfully that has been averted. With the conditions ideal for baseball, that one's low to the inside corner, ball one. Briar Burke, 0.7 ERA on the mound this season, amongst the top three in the competition. In it comes. Burke with a powerful ground ball, goes past shortstop. O'Sullivan's going to advance to third, and Burke will get a single to continue the scoring threat for the Cats. Very damaging at the plate is Briar Burke as we check this one out on the replay. And Tori, when she hits them, they stay hit.
They absolutely do. And that was all she needed. She pushed the runner around in O'Sullivan and, safe hit.
Absolutely. Burke and O'Sullivan starting things off well for the Cats. 2 hits. And of course, Carine did pile on the runs in the last meeting against Wanneroo. 4-2 in late October, as we see the next hitter in Morgan Doty taking a strike to start things off. Doty starting pitcher for the Cats in this evening's encounter. Still 1 away, runners on first and third. Doty lets that one pass. It's 1-1. Sullivan representing the go-ahead run for the Cats. In comes the 1-1. That one close to the line there, but good enough. 1-2 the count. In it comes. Swing, a hit, and a foul. Going for a line drive to third. Just later on tonight, it'll be the Braves and the Rangers playing in the final preliminary game. We know the Braves are in the grand final, so they'll get a fortnight off and they'll await their opponent next week. Will it be one of these two sides? They'll have their second meeting in a row, a semi-final in a week's time. Some would see this maybe as a throwaway game, but that psychological edge and second place on the ladder is what's on the line tonight. In comes the 2-2. And that one just going low. In fact, that's a walk. Ball 4. And so that will mean, for the first time in the match, bases are loaded. We've got Burke at second, Doty at first, and O'Sullivan on third. And this will bring up Miley Watt.
And as you can see there, Sam Thrush just indicated to her field players, I think they're going to move in and make the play at home.
In comes the pitch, the first one for Watt. It's an infield fly out towards Thrush at first. Can she make the catch? Yes, she can. That's 2 down. And well spotted there, Tori. The infield just pushing a little bit deeper, looking for a miss-hit and looking for a play at home. And as Peyton Newman makes her way to the plate to have her first at-bat, this was the last out. Pop fly to the infield, Thrush making the catch at first. Swing and a miss for Newman, strike 1. Carla George, a bit of pace off that one. Forced Newman to swing. Newman on the second pitch, letting that one go. Ball 1. Bases loaded. 2 outs, 1-1. O'Sullivan with the go-ahead run, awaiting at third base. In comes the pitch. High drive towards centre field. Running onto it is Spano. Dives to it but misses. O'Sullivan gets the runs on the board for the Cats. So does Burke. That's 2 runs driven in.
A 2 RBI single by Newman is exactly the start that Carine want to make in this first innings.
First blood to the Cats. 2-0 through O'Sullivan and Burke. And Spano had a hell of an effort to make the ball.
That was an excellent effort by Spud. She tried to get there, but I think it's going to be awarded as a hit.
And it has been as a result. And there's 2 runs on the board as a bonus. Wild pitch there. Fumbled by Haggart behind the plate. But luckily, Doty doesn't advance home and get the 3rd on the board. Bree Wright facing the 1-0. That one is going a bit low. 2-0. Giants need this 3rd relieving out just to release the pressure. As Carine have jumped ahead with 2 runs driven in through Peyton Newman. In it comes. Newman's leading towards second. It's a ground ball out towards shortstop. And it's going to go past the infield. Doty's going to score. Make that 3-0 for the Cats. Well, Carine starting like a house of fire. They've got 3 runs on the board, and it's only the top of the first. They've gone into this game with a clear purpose, as you see the Giants calling time. Everett and Haggart talking tactics. And usually a very good fielding side here, Tori, but they must be stunned that they've let 3 runs go by.
Absolutely. But I think, you know, Carine are really looking offensive tonight. They're not backing down.
They certainly aren't tonight. Can they mirror that in the semi-final next week? That's obviously another story that will be answered in a week's time. Steph O'Neill, beautiful drive, but it's mistimed and caught at shortstop by Everett. And that'll be a relief to the Giants, but they have let 3 runs go by, and the Cats off to a dominant start as we head to the bottom of the first. As we see some of the highlights of the first. And as you said, Tori, they were going to be on the offensive from the get-go, and they have been so far. Early hits, and they've got 3 runs on the board. And Wanneroo, the only option for them now is to respond just as aggressively. And as the teams warm themselves up for the bottom of the first, we'll take you through the Carine Cats lineup for this evening's encounter. Morgan Doty is going to be starting pitcher for this evening. Might come as a surprise, but they're saving Briar Burke, who's been the Cats' best pitcher in this competition, for that semi-final. Peyton Newman is starting catcher. Ruby Mooney at first base. Bree Wright at second. Briar Burke is going to be at third base tonight. Elodie O'Sullivan is at shortstop. At left field is Taylor, one of the new players in the Carine side. Of course, Chloe Scott out with a back injury. Miley Watt at centre field, and at right field, Steph O'Neill, the defensive lineup for the Carine Cats side tonight. As we mentioned, Chloe Scott out of the side, 50-50 on her participation in the semi-final next week.
Looks like there are a few new players in the lineup there tonight, Paul.
Absolutely, well spotted there, because you know, they're wanting to try out some new players, see who's going to be in that semi-final squad, because it's going to be a difficult process for the coach to drop a couple of players should Chloe Scott make her way back into the side, should she recover in time from that back injury.
Absolutely, she's so reliable for the Cats, and it'll be a real disappointment to not have her.
The Giants now getting themselves set for their first at-bat of this game, and Morgan Doty, starting pitcher for the Carine Cats. Morgan Doty, 6 innings pitched so far, only her second start this season.
Always good to try new things in games like these when they don't really matter.
Absolutely.
Well, they do matter, but, the outcome as such, they're both in the semi-final. I think, it's good to be a little bit experimental.
Absolutely, and the coaching staff, to their credit, have been willing to pull the trigger and experiment with a new lineup. It's obviously all about having your best players on the field for the semi-final next week. So far, strikeout tally, she's only had 6 strikeouts, but has only pitched an average of 2 innings per game. As we get this one going, Charlotte Yates, part of that powerful top-order trio, along with Spano and Lyons, is the lead-off hitter for Wanneroo as she faces good fastball there from Doty, but carrying a little extra height. Ball 1. Sharp eye there from Yates, seeing that one go by. 2-0. This is the bottom of the first. Game 11 of the Women's Elite Series, as Yates gets a thick edge on that one. That's a foul.
Peyton Newman actually dislocated her thumb a few weeks ago catching, so good to see her back behind the plate tonight.
That is a good sight, despite that injury. That one just kicking up a little bit of dirt. Even count at 2-2. Good fast one in there, but a little wide. Now a 3-2. And Carine certainly wouldn't want to concede any early walks, because if the Giants have a similar situation in which bases are loaded, Wanneroo can be very damaging. But unfortunately, no such one for Yates, unfortunately. She's been sent back to the dugout. A nice change up from Doty. Yates got caught looking, and that'll be one away for the Wanneroo Giants. Grace Spano, affectionately known as Spud, batting in that second spot. Also a very powerful hitter at the top of the order. Well seen there by Spano, just to pull herself out of the way. Ball one. Swing and a miss. Spano thought that was in the perfect area, but drew no contact from that fast ball. It's a 1-1. In it comes. That one with a little bit of extra height. 2-1.
You don't need extra height when your batter is that short.
No, that's a good point. That's, Spano is seeing them well. Spano just lets that one go. She wasn't having a bar of that one, knowing that that was going to kick up some dirt in front of the home plate. 3-1. If Spano gets that walk to first base, it'll be a good situation for Wanneroo. They've got Lyons, Haggart, Everett and George due up next. Swing and a miss. Spano again tempted to swing. She was looking for a pitch in that area. Hasn't drawn any contact on the two occasions where she's got a pitch right down the middle. A perfect one to swing, but has missed both. Doesn't miss that one. That goes towards left field, and she'll net herself a base hit. Good response there from the Wanneroo Giants. Getting those early hits is what you need in a game like this. And as we see on the replay, it was a nice floating drive over third base. And a simple base hit there. And this will bring up Madison Lyons in that third cleanup spot. Three to 1 on the hit tally now as Lyons faces her first pitch from Doty. Nice fastball, and Burke with a great catch at third base. Could she make the double? She does! A great double play on the 6-3 executed by Briar Burke, and that's 3 down for the Wanneroo Giants. It's the Cats 3-0 after 1.
That is just further proof of Burke's excellence. That was a brilliant double play, timed to perfection.
Top of the second here at NSR Hire Ballpark in the West. It is Game 11 of the Women's Elite Series for 2025-26, the second last of the preliminary games before we get into the semi-final. And it is Carine that have turned on the early firepower with a 3-0 lead. And they backed that up in the field as well, Tori, with a perfectly executed double play, the 6-3 from Briar Burke. Beautiful throw out to first base to make this third and final out, seal the play and end the innings. And Carine, they have got a clear purpose in this game. Get as attacking as you can and get that psychological edge heading into next week.
Absolutely. I really hope that, Wanneroo can turn things around here because, the last time they met, Carine scored 4 runs and they've already scored 3 out of those 4 in tonight's game.
Carine looking for their second win over Wanneroo this season as Taylor leads it off against Kayla George. That one going a little bit wide. Taylor, of course, one of the new players in the Carine side tonight. Inside corner. Saw that one well. 2-0. Taylor with a beautiful line drive, but that is a foul. Timed that one very well, but that one just over the foul line.
She is very vertical in her batting stance, and I wonder if that does affect her timing.
It's a good observation there, as you see there. Vertical. Tries to swing at that one a little too high. Strike 2. As we saw in that first innings by Carine, a lot of the players there got more open stance, more horizontal. Taylor's one that is not in the norm of, stances when she's at the plate, but unfortunately she struck out. That one just going a little bit to the outside from Michaela George, but did force Taylor to swing. And that is one away.
Mac George would have been desperately searching for a strikeout after that first innings.
Well, she wants more than just one, especially after letting 3 runs go by. She wants 3 quick outs. Ideally, the Giants want a 3 up, 3 down as O'Sullivan makes her way to the plate. Her second at bat, she got a single off the first, and that led to a 3-run drive in the first, but takes a called strike. And her first pitch at her second at bat from George. The 0-1. Good change up, but it's a ground ball out towards shortstop. Gathered there by Everett. Throw to first in time. Great play there from the Giants. That's 2 up, 2 down. A vast response here from Wanneroo at the top of the second. Here we see on the replay O'Sullivan just mistiming a ground ball. Everett nearly let that one slip through her fingers, but recovered well, gathered it nicely, and made the throw to first baseman. And Sam Thrush got it in time.
And isn't that funny that in the first innings that was the same spot that O'Sullivan hit to and the shortstop, overthrew it, wild throw?
Infield fly, nobody wanted it. It was a miscommunication there from George and Thrush. You got a call for those, as we see on the replay. And I hate to be blunt on this one, but the Giants made a meal of it.
Yeah, another unwanted error by the Giants early is not what they want in a game like this.
It was a case of who wants it, but I'm afraid it was no one. As Mooney gets herself a single. And here's Briar Burke, who executed that marvellous double play. Definitely been one of the best players in the competition. Damaging on the mound. Also, strong, sharp eye at the plate too. When she gets any contact off a fast ball from anybody, she puts plenty of power behind it. That backswing. Certainly behind that power. That one gets plenty of hang time. Fly ball out towards shortstop and a great catch by Everett. That's 3 down. Much better this time from the Giants. They were able to prevent any further scoring threat, but they've still got a lot of work to do at the plate as we head to the bottom of the second. It's 3-0 in favour of the Carine Cats as we head to the bottom of the second. And one of the things you pointed out so well is that Michaela George, starting pitcher tonight, we saw it as a bit of a surprise, wanted some early strikeouts. She was able to get it at the start.
Absolutely. It's just those unwanted field errors by the Giants that are letting them down at the moment. But it was a quick response in this innings, a lot shorter than the first one. No runs scored.
And only 1 hit as well off the back of some miscommunication from George and Thrush.
And I thought we're saying the decision-making by Megan Everett at shortstop was a lot better that second time because O'Sullivan hit it in the same exact spot in that first innings. Megan overthrew it to first base, and in that second time, as you can see here, a lot better, precise.
That's what you need from those playmakers. And there we saw a couple of infield flies. Everett making some good catches, and then that last play on the screen. You see there, the Giants made a meal of it, but they were able to recover well. Everett, really the major playmaker at the top of the second. Good throw to first for the ground out, and then the catch to end the top of the second as we bring you back live to NSR Higher Ballpark. The Cats are back on the field. Bottom of the second, they lead this one 3-0. What is pretty much a dress rehearsal for next week's semi-final. The two sides will meet again. Haggart is going to lead it off for Wanneroo. Eager to respond. Fouls that one to the Giants' dugout.
Someone else I've just noticed missing, Paul, is Chloe Atkinson for the Wanneroo Giants.
Yeah, Atkinson not in sight tonight.
Both Chloes are missing.
Yes. Both very good players. Atkinson very damaging at the top of the order for Wanneroo. One and one. In it comes. Ducking underneath that one. The inside corner. And having a giggle in the end as well. 2 and 1. That one almost took Haggart's head off, but Haggart saw that one well to duck out of the way. The 2 and 1. No runners on base. Nice drive over second base. And Megan Haggart will get herself a base hit to get things going for Wanneroo. As we talked about before, Tori, and it's a very important part in a game like this. You want these early hits, and Haggart was able to deliver, as we see on the replay. Floating drive over second baseman right. And this will bring up Megan Everett with a runner on first. No outs away. So the Giants in a very good position. All they need to do is get a scoring thread going and get those runs back. Everett saw that one well. To duck underneath it. Fastball from Doty. Well outside the top of the strike zone. As we get ready for the 0-1. Going for the bunt. Bunts that one back to Doty. Makes the throw to first. A sacrifice bunt will advance Haggart to second. That's one out now for the Giants as we check this one out. Sacrifice bunt was Everett's intent. And that one got back to Doty. And Doty was able to make the play in time, throwing to first baseman in Mooney. And this will bring up Michaela George. So a battle of the starting pitchers tonight. Who's going to win the first salvo? Runner on second, one away, bottom of the second. George not having a bar of that one, just outside. Ball one. Haggart on second. Representing the Giants' first run. Still have one out away, so they're still in a good position. That one very high. Plenty of zing. Just a little too high. Ball two. And it comes. That one going low this time. Trying to change things up there is Morgan Doty. Going high, then going low. Fortunately, neither of them got inside the zone. 3-0. And that will be ball four. So Michaela George will walk to first. 2 runners on base now. And this will bring out Sam Thrush. Now they've got first and second bases loaded here, Tori. They've only got the one out, so they're in a good position to try and respond to that early onslaught from the Cats.
I do wonder here if they will do a double steal.
Always ambitious, but...
Just as Doty's pitches are getting a little bit slower, I do wonder if the runners will try and sneak around.
Yeah, we've noticed that Doty's pitches have lost a little bit of that pace compared to the first innings where she was getting some early strikeouts. So that could happen. 1-0. but also not just pace as well. You know, a lot of them are outside the zone.
They are a bit erratic.
1-0. In it comes, and as you see, they could commit the double steal here, and they do. Newman Stradamus in the commentary position, the double steal right there, and runners now on second and third, as we see here on the replay. And there you saw at the bottom of your screen, Haggart made the charge as soon as the ball was released. She was able to make the steal on third. For what it's worth, the count is 2-0, with runners on second and third.
Carine Catcher also just letting everyone know that the plate is at home. Carine do not want these runs to score for the Giants.
Haggart the first run, George the second run, as Thrush swings and misses.
I do believe Thrush is due for a hit, so it'll be good to see her get on base and perhaps score the first RBI for the Giants.
Well, she's had a couple in the middle of the zone, which is the perfect area to go for a swing, but hasn't been able to get onto it. In it comes, that one inside. Good enough, though, for a strike. Gee, that one was close. Still one away for the Giants, so not the worst position to be in. 2-2. Swing and a miss. So Doty getting a valuable strikeout. And as we check this one out, we talked about Doty's pitches earlier in the innings being erratic. That one was anything but. Good response from Morgan Doty against Sam Thrush. And now this will bring up Ryla Lana.
She has got spunk, this kid. She is really cool to go and have a chat to.
No, absolutely. Cool, calm and collected. A floater over the infield. And this will send Haggart home. The Giants score. That's what the Giants were looking for, and Lana delivered. Lana a floating ball over second baseman. And that sent Haggart home to open the scoring. It's 3-1. Jessica Knight now at the bottom of the order. George representing the second run for Wanneroo. Lana representing the tying run at first base. That one going low and foul behind home plate. Jessica Knight got that more vertical stance that you talked about earlier. In comes the pitch from Doty. That one also a bit high in line with Knight's shoulders. Ball one. Runners on first and second. Wanneroo want to get another 2 runs and tie this game up. Fly ball into the stands and a foul. 1-2. 2 outs, bottom of the second. Runners on first and third. Doty would want to close out this innings. Well, that one's a half volley. Wild pitch. In comes Lana looking to make the steal, and she does. As easy as you like. So now there's runners on second and third. Over 3-2. And a walk for Knight would mean bases loaded. And also is edged into foul territory. One outside. pitches now from Doty, starting to get a bit erratic again. Full count. In it comes. Foul ball into the stands. We'll repeat the 3-2. That one's right out of there. Runners on second and third. In comes the pitch. That one's wide. And Knight will walk to first, and we've got bases loaded for Wanneroo.
And just like that, the Carine Cats coach is going out to talk to the pitcher. I think things could get hairy here if there's no one to come in and relieve Doty.
Well, that would mean, is there a possible change? Will there be an early change on the cards?
Oh, it looks like he's pretty comfortable leaving her in there.
And that is going to be the case. So they're leaving Doty out there. Is that going to be a tactic that will be effective, or will it backfire? The problem is the Giants have now gone back to the top of the order, because Charlotte Yates is back on. Yates is now back on for her next at-bat. And she could send George home for the Giants' second run. And best case scenario, Lana the tying run, Knight the go-ahead run. Yates goes for a swing, gets an edge. Foul ball. The 0-1. The Cats need this third relieving out, and that one fades to the inside corner. This time going high, was quick. Didn't place that one well, I'm afraid. 2-1. By the way, a walk for Yates will send George home as well. Yates with a ground ball to shortstop. They need this third out. They go to second by choice. And that ends the inning. It prevents the Giants from scoring. And the Cats maintain a 3-1 lead, as we see here on the replay.
Felt my blood pressure rising there, Paul. You know, bases loaded, battle at the plate. This is a great game for a game that really, you know, doesn't have, you know, that much value in the long run.
Hey, Dad. Can I have some?
No, love.
Good call, Dad.
It's easier to say no when we all say no.
Back with you at NSR Hyatt Ballpark here in the West, Game 11 of the Women's Elite Series. And for a game that doesn't really represent much other than a psychological edge, it certainly has turned out to be a very good contest early on. It's 3-1 in favour of the Carine Cats, who are looking for their second win over Wanneroo in this competition. Paul Persick and Tori Newman with you in the broadcast position. And Tori, this stage in the game now could be the most critical. We've seen what the Giants can do in the field. We've seen how much drive they got at the plate for, you know, little to no reward. They got the one run in, so they've got a response, but they need a lot more than that. And Carine, what they can do in the field is exceptional.
Absolutely. I think with Doty's pitching decline in that innings, she was really lucky to have such a good field to back her up on some of those, wonky pitches, wonky hits. But, Wanneroo also just as dangerous with the bat. They want to get out there and, replicate what Carine are doing.
Ball one off that first pitch as Doty leads it off against Michaela George. That one also going wide and a little bit high too. 2-0 the count at the bottom of the third. At the top of the third, rather, as Doty sees that one well enough. Ball three. Due in next, Miley Watt, Peyton Newman for the Carine Cats. In it comes. That one's a high one, and that will see Morgan Doty walk to first. So Doty occupies herself at first base. Miley Watt, centre fielder for the Cats, is next up. Watt 0 for 1 so far. Facing Michaela George. Light breeze here at NSR Higher Ballpark as a pick-off attempt is unsuccessful. Breeze making the conditions a lot cooler than what we'd expect here at NSR Higher Ballpark. The steal comes in from Doty, and she'll slide to second and make the steal. She's thinking about going to third, but decides to play it safe. So Doty advancing to second as Watt will face the 1-0. Will Doty make another steal? Are Carine going to continue their attacking game plan? Got a pretty decent lead off from second. There's a bit of a wild pitch there, kicking up some dirt. Ball two. Going for a bunt. Got a bottom edge on that one, so that'll be a foul. Facing the 2-1. Pressure on both sides now. Almost gave that up. Not some great defensive fielding, but this time connects. The sacrifice bunt will pay off. The throw is to first. The tag's made in time. Able to get to first base in time. There was Knight to make the play, but Doty advancing to third as a result, as we see on the replay. It's going to be a tough play if Knight was able to get to first base in time, which she did. That's the first out away for the Cats, with a runner on third, that being Morgan Doty. As this will bring up Peyton Newman. Peyton Newman, so far a good night at the plate, 1 for 1. Gets a ground ball out towards shortstop. And while she will fall short at first, Doty will score another one for Carine. It's 4-1 at the top of the third. Now, as we talked about, Tori, early on in this game, the Cats were going to go out all-out attack, and the scoreboard is showing.
Absolutely. And while that was a bleeder by Newman, she still scored the run.
Still played a part in getting Carine's 4th run of the night. And they are looking dominant against the Giants. That's a mistimed ground ball from right, and that'll be an easy play at first base. But the Cats, with an additional run to the scoreboard, increase their lead. It's a 3-run lead to the Cats. They lead 4-1.
My name's Derek Bird and I'm the Group General Manager for Harcher. Baseball WA and Harcher, that relationship began With myself being a baseballer and being very much a club person, my kids are club people, and they were just relationships that have been fostered over the last decade or so, and the opportunity arose to get involved with Baseball WA at a higher level, and we're using that as a vehicle to work back into the community through Clubland. So sponsorship is important to Harcher because of the staff we employ and the roles that they play in their own communities. That we feel that this is a way that we can connect back with not only our staff but with our customers. Volunteer sports are generally run on the breadline, and they need support and they need some additional resource for them to be viable and for them to be successful, and we feel that we can play that role not only from a sponsorship point of view but also a supply product point of view. The sporting club route is a really beneficial route for our business because we can touch so many parts of the role that they play. Most of their revenue is generated through the canteen and the bar and the kitchen. These sporting clubs are volunteer organisations. They need a little bit of help and we can provide that.
Heading to the bottom of the third here at NSR Hire Ballpark, and as you can see on your screen, Briar Burke is on the mound. They've made the change. Doty did look a little bit erratic with some of those pitches outside the zone, but now they're just wanting to settle things down in their defensive setup with Briar Burke on the mound. We said at the beginning that Tori, we thought she was going to be saved for the majority of this game, maybe get her starting for the semi-final, but they brought her onto the mound sooner than expected.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and I wonder if they've just brought her out to make it a quicker, easier end to the game. Really put Wanneroo away. But on the other hand, maybe Wanneroo are used to Burke by now and can get a few more hits on the board now that she's in.
And as we have known, Burke damaging at the plate, can execute strongly on the field. We saw that double play a little earlier, but on the mound, very damaging. Briar Burke, 3 innings in the game against Carine last week, 4-2 win, 6 strikeouts. Incredible performance it was by Briar Burke.
I am excited to see her again. I'm a big fan.
Absolutely, Burke is a terrific star, terrific player for the Cats, but that is a good line drive from Spano out to left field. And that'll be a base hit, just what the Giants were looking for. Get those hits from the top of the order. And the middle order are expected to follow. So Spano's won that little battle against Burke. Next up is Madison Lyons. She's going to be facing the music. Right, Burke calling the shots too, just telling third base to just push a little bit more outward, looking for a miss hit. Lyons facing her first pitch from Burke, and that one just outside the zone there. 1-0. Runner on first. Lyons facing. One going low. Late sinker. But Lyons saw that one well, not going for a swing. One also going low. Burke having a glance there at first. Just thinking about a pick-off. That is going to be ball 4. So Lyons will walk to first. Spano advancing to second, so the Giants have 2 runners on base. And they'll be eager to cut the deficit. As Megan Haggard is next for a second at bat. Haggard 1 for 1 tonight. In comes the pitch. Nice change up there from Burke, but just fell outside the zone. That one looking to sink back into the zone, but Didn't get enough on it. The 1-0. Nice ground ball out towards shortstop. Fumble, recovered by O'Sullivan, but the throw to first is not in time. So now bases are loaded. And as we see on the replay here, Tori, this is a bit of a blunder that the Cats could have done without.
Yeah, as I said, I think they might be a bit too used to Burke's pitching, and, you know, sometimes those faster pitches are just easier to hit than the slower ones.
Now Megan Everett is next up. She could send all three runners home. Sparno, the second run. Lions representing the third run. Haggart, the tying run. Megan Everett. Swing and a miss. That one took a bit of pace off. Right, Burke, that one not as quick, but still forced Everett to swing. The 0-1. To make the situation even better for the Giants, there's no outs, as that's a pop fly out towards third baseline. Oh, just missing that catch there. Was a great effort by Vade, but that's going to be ruled fair. The Giants will score their second. Sparno goes home. And we still remain with bases loaded.
The runner at third is in fact out.
In fact, out, yes. We'll check this one out on the replay. It looked very close. We'll check it out. It's a high fly ball. Great effort there from Vade, but that ball bounced just before it reached the line, so it was still ruled fair. And then, oh, by gee, that was close.
I believe that was actually O'Sullivan who made the journey all the way from shortstop to that left field line.
You were right, it was O'Sullivan. My apologies. Now, Everett. Her first pitch, wide sinker there from Burke. So runners on first and second. Wanneroo have cut the deficit back by at least one. It's a 4-2 margin with one away. All two. Looking for the double steal here, the Giants, and they're going to get it just like that. Haggart advancing to third, and Everett advancing to second. That's a ball. Trying to sink that one and force a swing out of Michaela George. Wild pitch. Haggart thinking about running towards home plate, but nothing doing. Three and two. Still one away. Everett's the tying run at second. Ground ball, back on the mound. Berg fumbles, but won't recover in time to prevent Haggart from scoring, but the throw to first is good enough for a second out. So Haggart scores the third run for Wanneroo, as we see on the replay. Berg had the choice to go to home or first, maybe could have gone for home, but did fumble and couldn't get to it in time, but recovered well enough to make the throw towards Mooney at first to make the play. Sam Thrush is next. Can the Giants continue their comeback? Everett represents the tying run. A floater out to centre field. It goes past body. Everett scores. Tie game. What a comeback by the Giants. They have scored a flurry of runs in quick succession. A floating ball to centre field. Goes past both infielders. A single for Thrush. And Everett scores. And we have got a tied game, Tori.
I did not see that coming, especially not this innings with Burke on the mound. It is really shocking that Wanneroo have had just that quick little run on there.
Especially after the start the Carine Cats had, and all of a sudden Wanneroo are back in business. Here's Lana. It's a high one there from Burke. Did the Cats make a change too early? It would seem that way with the way the game's been going.
Can they pull it back?
1-0's the count. Tries to change it up, Burke, but didn't work again. 2-0. Burke looking to pick off first, but fakes the throw. Sam Thrush there. Safe at first. The 2-0. Another floating ball over shortstop. And Lana continues the drive for the Giants with another base hit. So now there's runners on first and second. This was brilliantly timed by Lana. Got it in the right area. Drove that one over shortstop. The Giants piling on the hits at the moment. The hit count 6-4 at this stage. And as the Cats coach calls time, he's going to make her way to the mound. A chat to Burke. And the catcher in Peyton Newman. Has that early change backfired? Well, with the way things have been going, it would seem the case. But obviously they're wanting to try and settle things down after Doty finished her stint on the mound in quite erratic fashion with a lot of pitches outside the zone. They're going to persist with Burke on the mound. Got a fist pump from the umpire as well.
Did the coach just fist bump the umpire?
Yes, and the catcher fist bumped the umpire as well. You don't see that very often. Oh, that's one of the funny sides of baseball in any level. Even the umpire joins in on the fist bump party.
That's awesome.
We've got to see this again. Check this out. So first Burke, then Newman, and then the umpire. It took him a second or two.
He waits for the umpire. That's awesome.
Oh, that is incredible. That'll certainly be on the end of season highlight reel. Burke, first pitch for Knight, swung and missed. But the umpire knows when to get right back into business.
Absolutely.
But I'm not sure if he knows just yet there was a camera on him. 1-1. Dare I say it, us humble commentators will still be talking about that hours after the game concludes.
It's a match highlight for us, for sure.
No doubt about it. 1-1. Burke throwing, lovely ground ball to shortstop. Well taken there by O'Sullivan. Inflicts the throw, makes the play. And that is the end of the third. But the Giants have come back strongly. We're tied up at 4-all after 3. As we check some of the highlights from this innings, and it all, dare I say it, belonged to Wanneroo, especially with that flurry of 3 runs in the third inning. But the Cats did get a run of their own to increase the lead somewhat to 4-1. And then the Giants came back with a flurry of 3 in a flash to tie this game up. Could we see another tie, Tori, after what happened 2 weeks ago? I'm not putting any, omens on anything, but could we see another tie?
Oh, wouldn't that be electric?
Well, this game has certainly been electric in the early goings. After 3, we're tied at 4-all. Keep in mind, this in the context of the season, it's just a throwaway game. They're playing again in the semi-final, but we're getting an early preview.
We are indeed.
That's a taster of what the fans have got coming next week. And these two sides will meet again, this time for a spot in the grand final against the Braves. The grand final, by the way, taking place December 10. So once the semi-final concludes, the teams that are participating will have a week off. In the case of the Braves, an extra week off because they finished on top of the ladder and get the easy pass to the grand final. And of course, the team that wins the semi will get that week off as well. So both teams are fresh and ready to go for December 10's decider. And of course, the later game tonight at 8:30, we'll see the Braves take on the Kalamunda Rangers in the last preliminary game as well. That's not all the baseball action we've got for you, ladies and gentlemen. Men's State League action, Friday Night Lights, is back. This time at 7 o'clock, so an earlier start than what we've usually gotten this season. 7 o'clock, the Vic Park Belmont Reds in 4th place on the ladder. They take on the Rockingham Rams, last year's elimination finalists. They are 2 wins out of the 5, and they'll be desperate to get back in touch with that top 5 pitchup. That is at 7 o'clock live on the Baseball WA Facebook and YouTube channel. Can't wait to bring you all the action of that one. That is going to be a very important game, especially for the Reds too, with their import Kei Suzuki hitting a 3-run homer against Gosnells last Sunday to win the game for the Reds. As we are back in action with Steph O'Neill taking a strike. The first pitch from George, 0-1. That one almost
Ankle
taking
biter.
O'Neill's foot. Yes, an ankle biter there, but O'Neill did well to step out of harm's way. The 1-1. A bit loose there, outside the zone of the bottom left corner. O'Neill, the ground ball towards shortstop, gathered by Everett. The throw to first, on time, first out. Giants now getting their mojo back on the field after their 3-run flurry as we see this ground out on the replay. Everett's had a lot of those ground balls go her way and she's been able to execute. She's a strong fielder at shortstop. Taylor is next, with her side under pressure. The pressure's now back on the Cats as Taylor edges this one behind home plate and a foul ball. Carine now with their backs to the wall, having given up a 3-run lead. And with this game now tied up at 4-all. And this is the second last preliminary game of the Women's Elite Series for 2025-2026. Of course, you'll see these two teams again next week in the semi. And this is proving more than just a dress rehearsal for that semi. This is an early preview of what we could expect in a week's time. The 0-1. Taylor sees that one well. Even count now, 1-1. Taylor not having a bar of that wide pitch either. Taylor seeing them well. 2-1. That one to the inside corner this time. And Taylor shifting away from the plate. Sharp eye at the plate. 3-1 is the count. And that one almost collecting her hand. That's ball 4. Oh, that's 3, my apologies. Ball 3. And that one almost collected her hand. Swings at that one. It's a fly ball out towards left field. Yates makes the catch. Terrific catch by Yates. And that is 2 up, 2 down for the Carine Cats. And as we check this one out on the replay, Taylor really didn't need to swing at this one, Tori, if I'm being honest, because that was a high one. Didn't really sink that much, but Taylor pulled the trigger and Yates was there for the pickings.
It was, but maybe that's got something to do with that really straight batting stance again, is that she likes the high one.
Well, that's a good point you make, Tori. That vertical stance that she has got, unfortunately in this case, proved to be her undoing as we see O'Sullivan at the top of the order. 0-1. They need some drive, the Cats, because they're on the verge of a 3 up, 3 down against the Giants side that have got their groove back. One and one. That one kicked up some dirt. Half volley. 2-1. Just joining us here, you're live from NSR Hire Ballpark here in the West. Game 11. The Women's Elite Series. We have got a tied game at the present time. 4-4. Inside corner, strike 2. George would love to get this third and relieving out. Give the Giants a chance of taking the lead at the bottom of the 4th. Keep in mind, cut-off time at 8 o'clock. In it comes. That one's high. Full count. Full count now. Pressure is on O'Sullivan. It's a fly ball. Third baseline. Foul. So we'll do it all again. It does relieve the pressure a little bit, knowing O'Sullivan, she knows which pitch to go for. She gets one right down the middle. That's the signal for her to go for a big swing. She's a powerful hitter. In it comes. Ground ball. Goes past first base. Rule fair. O'Sullivan's going to get extra bases. She's going to second. And that's just what the Cats needed. That's a double for Elodie O'Sullivan. She's now 2 for 3 tonight. This was a lovely line drive by O'Sullivan. Knew when to get it in the right area. Drove that one to perfection. And decided to go for extra bases, and it was worth the risk. A double as a result. Ruby Mooney is next up. O'Sullivan now with the go-ahead run, but they need to keep this drive going. They're still on 2 outs. Mooney lets that one go. Takes a strike. Fly ball out towards second base. Knight's underneath it. Makes the catch. And we remain all tied up as we head to the bottom of the 4th. It is 4-all between the Cats and the Giants. As we see this one on the replay. Mooney just looking to go over the infield. Didn't get all of it. And Knight making an easy catch. We'll come back after the break with the bottom of the 4th.
You know, my dad always said, you are what you repeatedly do. You don't have to have all the talent in the world to be a great athlete. It's all about the hustle. I've come so far. A baseball player works 365 days out of the year. It's not 170 games and then they're done. It's that grind you got inside of you to not want to fail.
Bottom of the 4th here at NSR Hire Ballpark in the West. Nightfall is here this Wednesday night in Perth. We have got a red-hot contest. Game 11 of the Women's Elite Series for 2025-26. Carine were 4-1 up in the early goings, but now the Wanneroo Giants have come back and tied this game up at 4 runs apiece. I'll tell you what, Tori, if this game's anything to go by, the semi-final may be just as intense next week.
Oh, I hope so. Oh, I will have chewed all my nails off tonight, and then I'll have to get a new set just to chew them off next week.
Well, that makes 2 of us. The nails are bitten down to the quick, I'll tell you that much, with how tense this game is. And I reckon the viewers and those watching in the stands just below us in the commentary box will certainly have bitten all their nails as well. It's a tense game here. Yates will lead it off against Burke. One just sinking low at the last moment, but still outside the zone, ball 1. Yates, the fly ball towards right field, and an easy catch made there by O'Neill. That's 1 down. As easy as a light for Steph O'Neill. Charlotte Yates looking to get that drive going from the outset. And O'Neill, an easy catch, first out. And now Spano. Ground ball to shortstop. O'Sullivan looking to make the play and does. It was a tough one, considering how far Mooney was off the plate, but she had her right foot in there and was able to make the play in time. That's 2 up, 2 down. The Cats starting to get that mojo back, as we saw from the Giants an inning earlier. It was going to be a tough play, but Mooney just had the edge of her right foot on the plate.
And it was an excellent throw by Elodie O'Sullivan after her brilliant double down the first baseline.
Lyons is next, facing Burke. The Giants desperately needing to get a drive going to take back the lead. Lyons swings at a high fastball, but to her relief, it's a foul. Saw that earlier from Taylor. And Lyons was a slightly similar batting stance. You highlighted the vertical batting stance of Taylor. Lyons is
very
almost
straight.
just as similar.
It's
Yeah,
very narrow.
those high fastballs you talked about earlier, they're always prompted to swing at those. More often than not, it's their undoing. 2-1. Lyons, the line drive. Is that going to be ruled fair? It is. Only just. Lyons taking the risk to go to extra bases. It's going to be close.
Didn't quite have her foot on that bag.
As we see on the replay, by golly, this was a play too close to call. The ball just ruled fair by a matter of inches. And that has allowed Lyons to get the double and presents a chance for Megan Haggart. Lyons had to make that big slide, but it worked. But just like that fair ball, that play determined by a matter of inches. It was a photo finish. Lyons representing the go-ahead run. Swing and a miss for Haggart. Strike one. The 0-1. Burke feeling the pressure. So too Haggart. High fastball. Lyons taking the risk and pays off, stealing third. One and one. That's a drop strike. Now that'll count as a 1 and 2, 2 away. The Giants have Lyons as the go-ahead run at third. In it comes. That's a fly ball out towards second. Mooney's calling for it. She's got it. That's 3 outs. And we are still tied up at 4-4 after 4. Well, what about that, Tori? The Cats had some opportunities, so too did the Giants, but neither of them can be separated after 4.
Oh, what does this 5th innings hold for us?
Well, only time will tell. It's the first scoreless innings by both sides in this game, mind you. And we saw runs scored from either one or both sides all throughout this game, but the 4th inning broke the norm. This really belonged to the fielders. This is where the fielders have really come into the game. After those runs were scored, the first 2 or 3 innings, it was all the batters. But now the fielders have come into the game and have really shown what roles they can play tonight and in the semi-final.
Absolutely, and it looks like Wanneroo are bringing on a new pitcher for this last, or possibly last innings in Jess Knight, it looks like. And sent Michaela George out to first base. So, you know, fresh arm in this last innings. Perhaps it can be the 3 up, 3 down that the Giants want.
And a very timely one too, especially with how much time there is left in this game. So they're taking the gamble. They brought Knight to second. It's Madison Lyons.
Maddie Lyons. She was MVP a few weeks ago, so hopefully she can bring that energy in again tonight.
Absolutely. So Everett's made her way to third, and George is at shortstop. Haggart remains as a starting catcher. Thrush remains at first. Knight remains at second, and no changes to the outfield. And Lyons also a top pitcher for the Wanneroo Giants in this competition. Has averaged 2 innings pitched per game. Strikeout tally 16 with equal best on October 8 and October 29, both against Kalamunda. Struck out 6. And in the other games, she's played against the Braves and Carine, has only struck out twice. Of course, started over a month ago against Kalamunda, pitched 4 innings, struck out 6. And look who's leading off. It's Burke. This will be a very good battle to start the top of the 5th. Fair to say, whoever wins this salvo certainly have a great influence on the team as we head into the later stages of this game.
Burke has gone 1 for 2 this evening.
Takes a called strike on the first pitch from Lyons. Was in position for a swing, anticipating a fastball straight down the middle. That one, I'm afraid, kicked up some dirt.
Yeah, like a train, like supercars used to do, like a truck.
Bit of extra height on that fastball, 2-1.
Yeah, well, yeah. We do need the train to go along with the train, but it's not. And at least we like the fact that the camera's all focused.
Another low fastball, sinking to the plate, 3-1. Burke unleashes with a big drive out to centre field, and it goes past Spano. That was a great effort from Spano, though. Just missed the ball. Burke is going for extra bases and will get a double. Well, we highlighted earlier, Burke, that backswing provides plenty of power. When she's at the plate, she went bang over centre field. What an effort, though, from Spano. That would have been a classic catch if she was able to get to it. But Burke, the firepower that she's got at the plate, the backswing behind the power of those hits, has delivered once again in a double. Here's Doty. Doty looks to emulate Burke's firepower at the plate, but fouls. Now this is a question everybody can discuss objectively on the live stream. Out of all the teams and the players that we've seen at the plate, Burke has to be one of the best power hitters in the competition.
Absolutely. I reckon, I mean, I don't have the stats on me at the moment, Paul, but I think she will be leading in doubles. She hits them big.
Certainly does. And the follow-through, that backswing that she's got, and is behind all the power that she puts behind it, is absolutely incredible. 1-1. Doty facing Lyons. Doty, a big fly ball, and it's going to go into the gap. Extra bases coming up for Doty. Burke, who's going from third. She's given the signal to go to all time. It's going to be a tough play. Burke slides in, but it's out. We are still tied up. Santa Maria.
Oh my God. That was a big, big hit from Doty to follow up Burke's double, and then for Burke to be out at the plate, it's just insane. This is brilliant baseball.
Here it is on the replay. This was a beautiful ball into the gap, but then the Giants, they showed why they are a strong fielding side. The throw from centre field to the mound to home caught Burke short as she was sliding towards home, looking for that go-ahead run. And we are still tied up at 4 runs apiece. This is Miley Watt. Oh, by gee.
That was a close one, Paul.
Doty was flirting with danger. That's something you can't do when the game's in the balance.
And I tell you what, that base umpire has a mighty good eye.
Absolutely. No one outside. Doty with a lead off. Being kept honest by Madison Lyons. Right down the middle again. 2-2. One away. Got her looking. Well, it is 2. There's confusion. The home plate umpire. That is strike 3. That is strike 3. She's gone. Got caught looking there by Lyons. That's 2 outs. Bit of confusion amongst the umpires and the scorers there, but able to get that one right in the end. Oh, there's an intentional walk.
Intentional walk.
An intentional walk. Wow, that's something we don't see often. An intentional walk. And all of a sudden, there is runners on first and second. Well, I'm not sure that was the right way to go. My goodness me, Newman, intentional walk to first. And Bree right. That's a foul. Doty didn't know it at first, but now she does. My goodness me.
You rarely see that in the men's league, Paul, and to see it here, oh my God, I think that would be the first time that Newman has ever been intentionally walked in her life.
Yeah, my goodness me. Right, facing the 0-1. With every pitch comes every twist. A pick-off. Safe. Doty sliding in. What did I say earlier? You can't be flirting with danger when the game's in the balance. Could we see another tie? The 0-1. Right facing. That one kicking up some dirt. Doty taking the risk. And the ball's fumbled. Newman's going to follow suit and get to second. What the hell is going on?
I think Doty was very lucky that that pick-off attempt was failed because she struggled to get to third base. It looked messy. Peyton Newman was able to go to second base, and all the pressure is on Bree Wright at home plate to try and get that ball in play.
And the Giants are still 1 out away from ending the inning. So all of this has happened with 2 outs. Right facing the 1-1. Doty representing the go-ahead run, and oh, that one had plenty of spice on it, but Wright did well to duck underneath it. My goodness gracious me. The 2-1. Big swing, but a thick edge. Foul. 2-2. In it comes. That one's high. Ball 3. Full count. Tense stuff here at NSR Higher Park. 4-4. Top of the 5th. In comes the 3-2. And we'll do it again. That one's fouled into the Giants' dugout. I think by the end of this game, Tori, it's fair to say we'll have no nails left.
You're certainly right.
The repeat 3-2. Pressure's on. Change up. Oh, that almost deceded right, but she saw it well. That's a walk to first. And now, bases are loaded. And we've only got 6 minutes remaining. That's calling time or just getting a new ball. So Lions chatting with starting catcher Haggart. Talking over what tactics. Are they going to push the infield in, Tori? It seems as though the Giants infielders are staying put.
Well, it's only that one out that matters. I would not want to be Steph O'Neill right now.
But she's focused. She's focused and determined. The Cats, they want to get a second win over the Giants this season. They did so in late October. O'Neill takes a called strike. Bases loaded. 2 outs, top of the 5th. Swing and a miss. And if the Giants get this strikeout, they have a chance of getting a walk-off when they get to the plate. But they've got to make the most of it. Swing and a miss. Lions with a vital strikeout. And we are still tied at 4-all. Don't go anywhere, folks. We have got a big finish coming up. The Cats and the Giants tied at 4-all.
Nexus Airlines, an airline dedicated to connecting regional Western Australia and beyond. From the Northern Territory and Kimberley, right down through the Pilbara and Midwest and onto the vibrant streets of Perth City, Nexus Airlines connects us all. Connecting you to family, to work, or a well-deserved break. Nexus Airlines, connecting us.
Don't have any today, Frank. Is it actually going? Hey, Dad. Can I have some?
No, love. Good call, Dad.
It's easier to say no when we all say no.
What a finish we have here at NSR Hire Park. We couldn't ask for anything better. Carine and Wanneroo are tied at 4-all, and with only 3 minutes remaining, the Giants have got one last chance to walk it off, or otherwise they'll have their second consecutive tie in as many games. The Cats, they want to make sure that they don't let this game slip away. Now, a tie won't be a bad result because, looking at the ladder, that will keep them in second place on the ladder. So they'll have a little bit of a psychological edge. But the Giants, should they win, they will go to a 3-2 record. But since they've got the tie, that could see them jump into second as well. So everything is riding on this last half of the innings. By gee, what a finish we've got here.
I'm just speechless, Paul. This is just insane.
That's what makes baseball so good. Sometimes it can be insane. Leading things off, Megan Everett. It's a high, fast one there from Briar Burke. And what we said at the beginning about this potentially being a throwaway game, it's anything but. An A-grade dress rehearsal for the semi-final. Swing and a miss. Burke with good variety on the mound. Got one right down the middle. 2-1. Burke going a little high on that fast one. 3-1 the count. Any walks or base hits not ideal for Carine, but certainly ideal for Wanneroo. And that's going to be ball 4 and a walk. Everett is going to represent the winning run for the Giants. If they maintain this drive, the Cats, they've got to get 3 outs and 3 outs quick if they're to tie this game. Michaela George is next. In it comes. That one teetering below the zone. 1-0. Also a possibility of a double play as well, ideally on the 6-4-3 with O'Sullivan leading it off. That would be the perfect situation for the Cats to see the Giants at 2 outs. High fast one. George going for a swing, but missing completely. One and one. In it comes, going for the bunt. It's risky and it's caught. Newman makes the catch. Oh, unlucky there for George. Usually the bunt doesn't float up, but on this case it did. Newman catching that one behind the plate, and it's 1 down for Wanneroo. Sam Thrush is next. One down, Thrush facing Burke. Everett, the runner on first, representing the winning run for the Giants. Big swing, but a miss. Thrush looking to blast this one over the outfield, but didn't get any contact. Thrush just pulls herself out of the way there as that pitch was heading towards the inside corner. In it comes. Everett taking the risk, slides to second, and is safe. And as we see on the replay, good slide there from Everett, sliding in feet first, and now occupies herself at second. One and two. In it comes. Swing and a miss. Thrush is gone. Could we see another tie?
Or could we see another big hit by Ryla Lana?
Well, you did see earlier that Lana struck one well, forming part of that big comeback by the Giants. Lana, a very powerful hitter, hit one past first base with a beautiful line drive. Can she repeat it? That one's high. It's to left field. It's caught! It is caught! It's another tie! Here it is on the replay. Lana going for the big drive, but only as far as Taylor at left field, and we've got our second successive tie.
What a game. If that is any precursor to what we'll see next week, I think we'll be in for a long night, Paul.
I think we certainly will. No tied game next week. There must be a winner in the semi-final. Carine were up 4-1 earlier, but the Giants, they showed true grit and determination. They came back, locked the game up at 4-4, and their ground fielding and their pitching got better and better as the game went on. and they prevented Carine from getting any further drive at the top of the 5th. If that walk-off win had occurred, that would have been huge for Carine. But with that tie, Carine will still get a bit of an edge. They will maintain second place.
They will. So we have Braves in first place, the Carine Cats in second place, Wanneroo Giants in third place, and Kalamunda Rangers finishing in fourth place.
What a game that was, Tori. I reckon both our nails are bitten down to the quick, but we'll have to go at it again next week for the semi-final between the same two teams.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Viewers, we hope you can join us next week. Next Wednesday night, the semi-final. There must be a winner. They'll go through to meet the Braves in the grand final on December 10th. Thanks so much for your company. And before we go, Tori, one thing we can't forget, who's your MVP for this game?
I think it's a tough call tonight, Paul. There are a lot of standouts, but I think for me it has to be Elodie O'Sullivan. I think that double down the first baseline and to follow it up, her excellent fielding at shortstop was incredible.
I can't argue with that selection. Great call, Tori. We'll see you here next week for the semi-final. We had a tie, the second successive tie for the Giants at the first for Carine, and that has helped them get second place after the preliminary games of the Women's Elite Series. We'll see you here next week. It's Carine Wanneroo, the rematch. The stakes are higher. We'll see you next week, everybody, from NSR Higher Park.